We are back with the 166th edition of the Quarantinecast. As always, I'm really excited for this one. I am joined by Bellator middleweight Lance, the Boogeyman Wright. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. First things first, got to get this out of the way. The Boogeyman. I think I love that nickname. How did that come about?
My first trainer gave it to me. Literally, I asked him, why did you put my name as the Boogeyman on this poster? And he's just like, you're spooky. I was like, all right. And I just kind of ran with it. I'm kind of pale, so that works for it too. So, and I'm a scary individual. You get in the cage with me, some bad things can happen.
I love it. It's been a while since we've seen you in the cage, though. Obviously, the pandemic and everything. How have you been the past year or so, and what sorts of things have you been doing outside of the cage?
Outside of the cage, trying to survive, bro. I moved out to Denver because I wanted this to be my livelihood and trying to make this as my career. And, I was coming off of a win in February of 2020, and I had another fight scheduled in April, right when the first lockdown happened. And, yeah, that's pretty much all that's been going on. And I made a move. I signed with Sucker Punch Management. So that way I could be more active, especially in the climate with today's MMA. I really feel like management is very key. So I signed with them, and I was really hoping to make it onto the Ultimate Fighter. I got word for that like in November of 2020. That I was a contestant or a possible contestant for that. Made it all the way to almost leaving for it. They were about ready to get my flight to Vegas, and then I get COVID. So that was really disheartening. But then about 2 or 3 weeks after I recovered from COVID, tested negative and all that, I get the call for Bellator. So, the universe kind of works out in weird ways sometimes, if not this, then, I'm not too keen on being on a reality TV show. I'm a fighter. I'm not an actor or somebody that likes the spotlight too much. I just want to go in there, do my thing, and then get my hand raised at the end of the night. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think in the end that was kind of a blessing in disguise? I mean, obviously, like you said, the reality TV, having to go through there, being away from family and still possibly not even getting a contract. This way, you're signing to Bellator right away. You can go and fight. Don't have to deal with all the other stuff. Do you feel like in a way it was a blessing in disguise?
Yeah, for sure. I'm just out here kind of doing my thing, and like there's been so many people that have gone on the Ultimate Fighter, and that's a really good cornerstone for their career. So I will always kind of be like the fact that it's a huge opportunity missed out on. So but at the end of the day, something else is coming along where I'm still going to be able to go out there and showcase my skills at the highest level. So that's what I'm most grateful for.
Obviously, signing with someone like Sucker Punch, that's huge for you. But were you expecting to jump right back in there like a Bellator? Obviously you got COVID, pulled out of the Ultimate Fighter. Were you expecting that call from Bellator, or were you expecting to maybe have to go to like an LFA or one of these other promotions, just given your layoff?
I mean, look, man, I train with some killers, and I've been helping a lot of people get ready for their fights coming up, and I've basically been in camp for like the last 6 months. So I'm ready for anything, and I knew that I was on the UFC's radar. I'm on Bellator's radar just because of where I was at in the selection process, and yeah, and I had a good feeling that I was going to get a call by somebody big in the next couple months or so, and if I had to do a regional promotion in the meantime, I would. But things worked out where I'm able to go and get a few more eyes on me. So that's really what I'm looking for.
So you've got a fight here on June 25th. You're fighting Taylor Johnson.
Yep.
Your thoughts on the matchup?
It's a really good matchup. Taylor's a really tough dude. He comes forward, throws hard shots, good wrestler. I think it's going to be a really interesting fight. Strength-wise, he's a collegiate grappler. I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner, and I've been working a lot on my striking. So I definitely feel like matchup's going to be very interesting, and it's going to be a banger to watch.
One of the interesting things, I guess, since the last time you fought is the whole, obviously it's not really a bubble anymore, but all these different restrictions. Do you feel like that's something you're going to get accustomed to? I know a lot of fighters have, like, in a way, OCD, like they like things being perfect during fight week. Is that something that that you can relate to, or do you think you're just going to go in and not have a problem with all those adjustments?
Yeah, I mean, I try to just kind of roll with the punches, because if you have a perfect idea of what's going to happen on that night and it doesn't happen, then it can kind of get you out of the mental state. So I just try to go in there and thinking, okay, you know what, whatever happens, I'm going to be able to adapt and overcome. So yeah, I guess that if that answers your question, I'm not really too worried about all that. I had COVID, so I've got antibodies, so I'm protected at least for a little while.
How was your experience with it? I know some guys say, it lasted 2 weeks and they were back up and running. And then guys like Jeff Molina were out for months, or, Hazmat Chimaev. How was it for you?
My symptoms were very mild. I just had like slight headache. But other than that, I was still exercising while I was, in quarantine. But yeah, very mild symptoms. Definitely not that bad, and just a little tired and stuff like that. But my cardio definitely bounced right back after I started getting back into the gym.
So this fight was actually supposed to take place this past weekend.
Yep.
Ended up getting pushed 2 weeks. What exactly transpired there to have it move?
All I was told was my opponent got sick. So, I wish him, I wish him good health. And, I hope that he's at 100% when we meet in the cage, because I don't want any excuses.
When a fight falls through like that, do you prefer to have the same matchup like rebooked? Or is it like, I've already prepped for this. Let's try something new.
Well, in this case, I took the fight on about 3 weeks' notice, and it being pushed back about 2 weeks. It was another one of those things where it was just like, hey, I'll take two more weeks to ramp up my cardio and try to work on a few more things in training camp. So with the 2 week pushback, it was really kind of a good thing as well too. But I mean, like I said, my cardio bounced back after having COVID, so I was ready to go on 3 weeks notice and make 185. But now it's just like, all right, got a little bit more prep time, a little bit more time to work with my coaches, and just get everything dialed in.
You mentioned a little bit earlier about a big move you made a couple of years ago. How significant has that move been to Colorado and working with the guys there at Elevation? I mean, Drew Dober went through his tear these past couple of years. The list goes on and on. Justin Gaethje. What does it mean to you to have a group like that?
Oh man, like these guys are my brothers, family, and we've got a lot of really good team camaraderie and stuff like that. Like, we meet up outside the gym and play poker, and we'll do some other team building activities and stuff like that. So like I've just learned so much just from being out here, and I've grown not only as a martial artist but as a person, just being around all of these like really awesome people, and learning from them, and like really trying to emulate a lot of those people, and trying to follow the blueprint that they've laid in front of me. It's a long road. Not everyone's road is the same, but we all encounter similar obstacles along the way. And I'm very grateful to have learned from a lot of these people. And like I said, man, I'm ready to go out there and show the world, this is the new improved Boogeyman.
I love it. I'm going to ask a couple more questions and then I'll let you go. There's one fight on your record that I really want to point out. I know a lot of people talk about the wins and the finishes, but that fight with Hayward Charles.
Oh yeah.
The only loss you have as a pro. What's the biggest lesson you took from that fight?
Strategy, I would definitely say, is the biggest lesson, and not underestimating my opponent. Not gonna lie, that's honestly what happened. And he was better on the given night. Hats off to him for that. He was able to go out there and he executed his game plan flawlessly. And I was, I was trailing. He was doing what he wanted to do, and I was reacting to his game plan. So I would definitely say that I've learned that I need to use all of my tools available, and that is including pre-fight strategy and making sure that mentally that I'm in a good place when I'm trying to divulge and like go and break down my opponent. And I would definitely just say that I definitely could have worked a little bit more in certain areas that I didn't, and I paid the price for it.
Was that loss ultimately the reason why you decided to make that jump and move to Colorado, or did it happen before?
I was already training with Elevation at the time. That was my second fight with them. Yeah, and that, as far as like not using all of my tools, as far as like certain positions where Hayward is very good, I kind of let him pull and get to those positions where I might have been able to, in training camp, go and work out of those positions a little bit more. Things like that. But again, hats off to Hayward. He was able to pull it out on that night, and he was the better man. But I got an eye out for him. If we ever cross paths again, I'll definitely be down for a rematch.
And then lastly, June 25th is right around the corner. What can we expect to see from you?
Violence, pain, and violence.